Hey, how's it going? Check in for the day with another update, and just again, because I haven't introed it properly for a few days now, a few weeks probably. The purpose of these updates really at the beginning of the year was to give me some accountability, a sense of purpose and direction, that every single day I was doing something to progress towards my goal of establishing myself as a motivational speaker, a professional, as in paid professional motivational speaker, specifically around well-being topics. And this is I wanted to intro that today with all that blurb, because that's really the central thing that I want to talk about in this video. I have been trying to catch up with Diana, my agent, for the last few days. She's been super busy, and just missed her yesterday, but we managed to speak today. And Diana has been a really, really important part of my my journey, my progress this year. Not because she's found me loads and loads of speaking engagements, and I'll come to that in just a moment, but because she's really given me a huge sense of confidence and self-belief. And I can remember, I'm actually outside the leisure centre at the moment, just being there. My daughter's just getting changed at the moment from her swimming lesson. And I can remember being here probably 11 months ago, 10, 11 months ago, and messaging or via email, speaking to Diana. This is before I'd ever met her, and certainly before she was representing me as a speaker agent. And she was saying, you know, she had been introduced to me, or rather I had been introduced to her via a mutual friend who was an event organizer. And we were having this back and forth conversation. I can remember clearly thinking and actually saying to her, look, I'm not a household name by any stretch of the imagination. I'd seen some of the speakers that she has on her books, and she's got like the not Helen Mirren, Dame Stella Rimington. That's one of probably her biggest names. She's the ex-MI5 chief. Helen, I forget her surname, but the first female astronaut. She's got Olympic athletes, Paralympic athletes, and politicians, and just some really big heavy hitter household names. And I'd seen all that, and I thought to myself, and I'd said to her, look, I'm not, I've got my own little community, and I'm kind of well known in my space, if you will, but I'm not by any means a household name. And I sort of had that big belief that that's who you had to be in order to get representation, in order to properly make it as a motivational speaker. And she has really, over the course of this year, not just by taking me on, but by taking the time and spending the time with me and on me, really given me that boost to believe in myself, that not only do I have a message that is important, but I have a way of delivering it, that I'm able to deliver it in a way that reaches people, touches people, inspires people, and can actually, from a business sense, from what she does and what event organisers and bookers want, will make an event, so that if I'm giving a keynote, if I'm giving a talk, a presentation, that people will actually enjoy listening to it. And that was kind of the sense that she's given me this year, and certainly the feedback that she's had from those that I have done. So she's been fantastic this year, and I have have been balancing this off against that sense of frustration that I've had the whole year. It's not just a recent thing, it's been the whole year, but in particular perhaps the last few months, where I've been looking at thinking that I just need to get this momentum going. I just need to start putting in the speaking engagements and doing more work, because I'm not doing it, and because I'm not doing enough, then I'm not building up any of the word of mouth, I'm not building up my bank of experience, and so I'm not getting that momentum going. And so I wanted to catch up with her and say, look, what are your thoughts on this? What could I be doing differently? And what approach are you taking? And is there anything that we can do differently there? Because she said right from the beginning, Diana said that it was always going to be the long game, and it was going to be a slow burn. It was going to take time. And she's very, very mindful of speakers, not just me, but speakers doing speaking engagements for free, or just dramatically dropping the fees, because well, from her point of view, it's business case, business scenario. She's not going to make much money. She's getting a 20% commission, so she's not going to be getting a cut if it's a free event. But also, her point was that it sort of starts to devalue, and it starts to it gets a lot harder to build back up to the fee that I should, quote unquote, be commanding for a speaking engagement, a keynote in particular. So then you're in this catch-22, right? Because you're not doing the speeches, you're not giving the presentations, which means you're not getting the experience. People aren't getting to see who you are, so then you're not getting the bookings for the paid gigs, and so it sort of keeps on going around and around and around in this loop. Now, not that I want to be doing loads of free engagements, but I wanted to kind of get her take on where she was and what her thoughts were of how to actually get things really moving, and I think she's been quite surprised this year as well with the sort of lack of commitment in organisations and event bookers, the clients that she works with, to actually book well-being speakers. And as she puts it, some of the reasons are that there's a lot of free stuff out there. There are probably a lot of speakers who are doing it for free to either boost ego or to get back-end sales, whether it's, I used to do it as a boot camp coach, so I have done it before. Go and give a talk and you hope that you're going to get some sales, people booking onto boot camp or personal training or online programs or whatever else. So I totally see how that works. So anyway, we were kind of we were talking about this, and I was sort of thinking to myself, geez, is she like, is she backing off and thinking that this is not working and I'm wasting her time? And so I was having one of all these thoughts, and I said, well, look, here's an idea. Here's something that I've been thinking of. And this actually came from a conversation with Simon Shepherd just a couple of weeks ago, the Optima Life guy who did my HRV, heart rate variability test. And one of the things that he said was that he didn't change anything about what he was doing, but he stopped talking about stress and started talking about performance. And overnight, his corporate business really, really transformed. Now, I've been talking about performance for some time in terms of how I kind of my strapline, wellbeing and performance coach. So I suggested to Diana that maybe we sort of come away from the strict wellbeing talks, because thinking about it from the booker's point of view, from the corporate point of view, wellbeing, as has been pointed out to me by many people, and I totally believe it and get it, but well-being is still very much a nice to have and not necessarily a need to have for some organizations. And that's a sweeping statement, but it's sort of people are very interested in digital. They're looking at the future of digital, for example, and they want speakers on that. They want speakers on risk management. They want speakers on performance. They want speakers on resilience, because they know that this is going to help them. There's actually a return on investment for them, a business case. Whereas the well-being, is it, isn't it? Is this something that's going to pay us back in 6 months' time, a year's time, 10 years' time? What's the actual ROI on it? So I suggested, I positioned this to her, and I said, look, what do you think is the case for repackaging and almost rebranding what it is that I'm doing, which would really involve just some fairly minor tweaks to the messaging, but also possibly from her point of view, like what she's telling prospective clients. So when they come to her saying, we're looking for somebody who can speak on performance, at the moment, she's probably not thinking of me. Whereas after the conversation today, she did say that, kind of very generously, she said that she thinks I may have hit the nail on the head there. So I'm feeling I guess I'm torn between feeling a bit disappointed that it hasn't happened yet, and I'm still frustrated that I haven't kind of managed to get that at least a booking a month, couple of bookings a month for speaking engagements. But at the same time, buoyed up by this idea, well, look, we've tried that, it hasn't worked. Maybe it will work again, and it'll work better in 12 months' time when things have really picked up even more momentum. Perhaps it will, but at the moment, it's not working. Let's do something different. And I find that quite exciting, because that's exactly what I teach. That's what I talk about. It's like, if something's not working, then you change it. You don't just keep on doing the same thing. You change it. You do something different. Now, I know what I want to do. I want to be speaking because I love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy the live stuff. I enjoy the engagement. I enjoy feeling the energy from a live audience and seeing the responses and the reactions. I love that. And I love I feel very passionate about the message that I have to share. And actually, the seminar that I taught a few weeks ago now was all about performance. It was all about getting more out of yourself, out of your life. And we had the well-being theme to it. But actually, there were many people in the room who weren't there because they wanted to know about well-being. They wanted to know about how it applies to other aspects of their life as well. So I know that this stuff has many applications. I look at what I do and what I've done. I look at my approach to running 100-mile ultramarathons and 10 back-to-back marathons and Ironmans, and I look at my approach to the Frog Grand Round that didn't go to plan a few weeks ago. And how I've responded from that. And I know that that's not how most people approach things. So I know that I've got some personal stories, some authority and credibility on that. And I've got some strategies as well that I enjoy sharing, and I do share with my online audiences and my groups and my programs, my coaching clients, and I share with my speaking engagements as well. But it's almost like a footnote. It underlines things rather than it being more of the main event and talking about, as I said, talking about resilience, talking about performance. So I think I'm more excited than I am disappointed that we're looking at this change of tack. And Diana's going to have a think about it. I'm going to have a think about it. I'm actually away over the weekend. I'll keep these videos going, of course. But I will be having a good think when I'm in a different environment about how I could put something together and how I could tweak what I'm doing to make it perhaps more appealing to the sort of audiences that I want to be speaking in front of. So there we go, slightly longer than normal update, longer than I anticipated, but there we go. That's helped me anyway get my ideas and thoughts clarified, crystallized rather. And I will, as I said, be back again tomorrow with another check-in, and I will see you then. Bye for now.